Alright, hello everyone and welcome to the Adstow Project on OMSI 2 on ZZ9 Transport. That's right, the Adstow Project is finally out and we're going to take a look at the routes that come with it. So, the way we're going to do this is a bonus series going out on Sundays called Adstow Adventures. So, each week we're going to go through the routes, we're going to go in numerical order. And this time I'm going to stick to that because this is a separate series, unlike Bodenham. So we're going to start with the 4. Little thing to note, there are a couple of routes like the 4 which have variations, because you've got the 4A that goes around, I think, pretty much the opposite direction. Variations like that will be covered in a separate video towards the end of the series, so that there's not too much repetition going on. But with that said, let's start with the 4, because that is the first one we can drive. And we're going to take this Wright StreetLite for a run today. It's 10.8 metre StreetLite by McGill's Midland Bluebird. Now obviously we're going to discuss the different operators that come with Adstow and what they sort of do. I can't quite remember all the routes off by heart, but we'll just make the best of it. There's a static over there, because why on earth not? Yeah, we're going to go for a drive and that building's already failed. So that's worked. That was fine earlier on. Oh well, that's just going to be like that I guess, because now I've started recording. I don't want to try and fix it on the fly, as it were. But not to worry, because we're not going to be looking at this building anyway. We're going to be looking at the streetlight, which I can't get the camera back in position. Here's the inside. This is an Essex Eclipse 2 repaint, of course. This was with First Scotland Ace before it became McGill's Midland Bluebird. Over there we have a Shopper Hopper 24 by Beryllium, the little family-owned company that runs around this map. There's also Stagecoach Southwest, which is the big boy that goes around all the main routes and things. Beryllium goes to some of the places that likes a Stagecoach might often overlook. Anyway, we have our bus on. Let's just have some of those. And we'll go round to stance 6, I believe it is, to load up for the 4. I'm going to wait until I actually get on stand before I switch the display on, because if I switch it now, then the people are going to just walk into the road, because they're just infinitely sensible in that way. So is that building? Oh, that building's working now. Okay. Just saw it in the wing mirror. I was like, wait, that's working again now? So, just go figure about how that works. Let's just do the thing, because I'll need to go like this and this and this. We have something there. It's a 7. Of course, it's branded. We are using the low-end AI list, and I'll talk about why I've gone with that later on, because there is a reason behind it. But let's get on to stand. Let's not waste time. That says stand 5 above it for some reason, but I assure you this is stand 6. It's slightly wide of the stop. I haven't driven the streetlight in a while. That'll do. That's close enough. So let's now see if this will do the thing. Route number 4. You've got the option of the 4 and 4A, but we're taking the 4. There's a seat with some German on it over there. I don't know how that's happened, but here we are. People are getting on.
Morning, sweetie.
Yeah, we could have parked better, but we're between the lines, so hopefully no one's disappointed at us. Oh, we have gone slightly through the fence actually. Let's just fix that. Let's just fix that slightly. There we go. And we'll roll the time forward so we can just get straight on the move. No time to waste, as it were. Just gonna go to about, when are we out? There. I set to that. All these AI buses are about to disappear momentarily. Although some of them might reappear. And it looks like we don't have anyone else getting on? Well, it's pretty empty for now, but not to worry, because it will fill up later. Let's get on the move. And hopefully reversing out goes okay. We've got something in there. Let's just let that go. Say let it go like I didn't still just reverse while it was passing behind. And away we go. So I think Stagecoach has got ever so slightly more drivable routes in the map than Beryllium. But it is pretty close. I think Beryllium have a couple more school contract type routes, I think. Are you letting me out? You're letting me out. That's very nice of you. This is the only route that actually goes right out of the bus station, if I'm not mistaken. So, on we go. I'm actually going to very quickly stop right around here. So I've actually just realised something before we continue that I need to do. Well, I don't necessarily need to do it, but I should do it. Which is that. And then what we can do is hopefully we can get a nice little screenshot of the bus. Now isn't that just very nice indeed? There you go. One nice screenshot has been acquired. I believe we're going round to the left. Yes, we are. Nothing coming down that steep hill, but we are going to wait for this transit to go. And there's no one even here. These cars are not conveniently parked, but we can avoid them. Just like so. I think in total, as I think I just clipped the back of that car, I think in total is about 13 or 14 drivable routes in the map. I'm not exactly sure, when you include the variations of course that is. As there are like 3 different forms of the 6, you've got the 4 and the 4A. And I think there's like 3 or 4 different school contracts. There's a rail replacement route as well. Quite a few different things to enjoy. There's a 60. I think that one is drivable.
Hello, mate.
Not mistaken. Oh, what does this do if I let off? Will it hold? Oh, it's actually holding. This is doing way too good up the hill to be a street light. I don't think street lights would do that well up a hill. No one getting on there? In that case, I'll left on this roundabout. Been a while since I've taken the street light out, to be fair. Just not one I typically go to. Had a lot of other things to look at recently anyway. Let's see, are we good? I think we can... Ooh, some high revs. Yeah, this map has been in development for a long time. By none other than Mr. Jack Sir Adstow Sergeant himself. As he's been nicknamed, I've seen at least once on the fellow's film, Sir Adstow. So I've now said that name as well. We've got a lot of people getting on here. Hello everybody.
What?
And I think there's been some circumstances that meant this has come out earlier than it perhaps would have otherwise. I'll get into some of those circumstances a bit later. but visually, from what I've seen so far on the few routes that I've driven, it's a very, very lovely looking map. I really, really like how it looks visually, and the routes that I've done so far are very nice to drive. I've done this one a couple of times. I've done the 6A, which I'm also going to do a video of, and I've done a run on the 16A as well. That was off camera though. Right, you lot, this is not ideal. You lot are just in the road, so I'm just going to have to do this.
What?
Hello, lad.
Sorry to any cars behind us. Not a whole lot I can do about this. Probably should have got a bigger bus for this. It's already getting quite full. I think we might find this bus fills up pretty quick. We'll just have to make it work with the capacity we've got in this vehicle. Anyone here? One more. There we go. Of course, this is a very fast accelerating bus. Probably one of the fastest we have for UK buses. We have to make this light. Or not, as the case may be. Can't commit to that, we're never going to make that. Alright, so with that being said, we're now going to be sat here for about 4 minutes. So while we wait, I guess, how's your day been? I don't know. I don't know what to do. We're going to be at these lights for a while because of these absolutely crazy roadworks. We've got something over there. What's that? Is that another 7? No, it's a plain livery. Oh, it is still a 7 actually. Thought the branding was higher up on it than it was. There you go, you're coming this way, are you? Hello 7. Oh, my lights aren't flashy. The way the light works, you've either got full headlights or nothing at all. Of course, one thing you can do with the streetlight is you can get rid of its Wright logos. You can also put them back. Anyway, it's difficult to find things to talk about when you're just stuck at some lights because you're not actually doing anything. Now, there's a Shoreline 99 open topper. Another beryllium route, just like the 4 and 4A, and the 24. There it goes. Might see a 200 MMC at some point as well. So like I say, I am using the low-end AI list. I would love to have run this with the high-end AI list, but unfortunately it's just a bit much for a couple of reasons. But first things first, like I say, the map looks fantastic visually. I love how it looks, and I know I'm going to enjoy driving probably every single route that it has to offer. It's very, very nice. I might just adjust a couple of my views while I'm here just to make them a little bit better. A little bit more view where I want it. That should be a bit better. Oh, what have we got over here is a beryllium. We've got a 20. Just a regular E400. And then a 4A. Bus fan-out displays are working well, as you can see. Classic. Gotta love a bus fan-out display. I think that's what those ones use anyway. Absolute brilliant. But anyway, yeah, low-end AI list, not high-end. Get onto that in a bit, but like I say, we're going to enjoy driving these routes. I think we're about to go. I think this is our time. It is! Let's go, 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 go. We're almost 3 minutes late through that. Can you believe that? I mean, it's Roadworks, so it's probably quite easily believable. Hope I didn't take out any of the traffic cones there. Oh, this is a bit narrow. I'm going to say that I made that, and if I didn't, then you didn't see anything. Anything going to come on this side that's going to be a problem? Nope. Oh, yes, but after it becomes no longer an issue because I can just go over here and you can get past. Right, so we've got 3 minutes to make up. Can we do it? This can be a bit of a tricky map for making up time, but we're going to make the best we can of it. We have a fast accelerating bus, so I'm hoping that helps. Also likes to do random kickdown. Interesting to see how this thing does on some of these hills as well. I mean, based on its track record so far, very, very well. Unexpectedly well for a bus of its type. Got anyone getting off? No, we don't. Just give it a bit more revs to help it out. More roadworks. Macaulay Construction. You'll find a lot of references in this map to various well-known people in the OMSI community. I didn't need to indicate here, but I'm going to do it anyway. Now, there are quite a few little sneaky references like that one snuck in at various points throughout the map, which I think is quite a nice touch, you know? Little nod to some of the more well-known people in the community. I think this might be... is this one up here? No, this is a primary school, I think. I think I just hit the curb. Whoops. I just made the bus complain at me, so that's good. Yeah, this is a primary school. Not going to find a reference here. We are going to find one passenger to get on. That passenger does not want to, in fact, get on, so instead we're just going to roll forward a little bit and let these cars go through. And we're going to make this left. Oh, there's a car parked here today. Last time I went along this route there was nothing parked there at all, so I could take a nice wide swing, but I can't do that until after that car. A minor inconvenience. Tell you, this bus really does love to do a little bit of kickdown. Almost a bit too much, really. And again, this bus is like, what, 7 years old now in terms of when it was first released? So I suppose we can forgive it for that. North Point Medical Centre. And we've made back 2 minutes, so that's gone actually better than I thought it would. Oh, he sort of just appeared there. It's fine, you made it on. So pretend like that didn't happen. Ah, nicely timed lights, that's rare for us. Usually the lights like to be the exact opposite of that. Come on, brakes. Usually you work too well. Just this once, work more than I think you will. So if you can run the high-end AI list on your end, you'll get a lot of 400 MMCs on your map. A mixture of ADL versions and some Scanias as well. But regardless of which list you use, one thing you will get regardless is a few custom liveries. Say obviously you've got the beryllium livery. There's also dedicated livery for the 16A. I should just call it 16A because that's the only version of it that's in this release. You've got the likes of the Shopper Hopper, the 101 Portford Park and Ride, the Shoreline 99 of course. Can't forget that. And you get a lot of really cool custom liveries that are really well made. I don't know who specifically made them, or if it's more than one person that contributed repaints. Might well have been. I don't really know, I sort of didn't check that fully, but plenty of cool custom repaints if you want to drive with those. And there's also, I think there's a few miscellaneous beryllium and stagecoach repaints that come with this for buses which aren't in the AI list, if I'm not mistaken. I did see some folders that didn't seem to apply to AI list, so
What?
a few extra things for you as well.
Oh,
And of course this is a free map on Fellows Film as well. Actually got a bit of a timing point here, let's skip the time forward. I forgot this was a timing point. Let's just put this forward to... I'll just put it forward to right there. Anyone else getting on at Notre Dame Secondary School? No. So earlier on I did say that the likes of the 16 wasn't ended up not being drivable. Sorry, words are hard. It ended up not being drivable and we only got the 16A, even though the initial plan was to have a full 16 to Ashbourne. I think this is something, it's obviously it's public information. It has been told publicly on Fellows Film by Jack Sargent himself. But I should probably call out why that's not in the game when people have been expecting it in the game, in the map. And unfortunately that's because of one of the most recent beta versions. Someone in the beta team, no idea who, don't care to find out who, decided that it was a good idea to leak the beta. And it goes without saying, obviously no one should ever do this, and once that came to light, I think it did kind of cause a lot of motivation loss for Jack Sargent when it comes to the map. So rather than the plans he'd initially put forward for it, I really can't words today. I chose a good day to do this when I just can't words. Rather than go with the full plans that he'd made for it, he decided to shrink back the plans a bit and to get the map out sooner. And it's just, I just don't get why you'd bother leaking something. Like, it's going to come out for everyone eventually, and you're not going to make any friends by leaking something. It's just,
Oh, hello.
it's just pointless.
Hi.
And it just doesn't make
What?
anyone that's
Hello, mate.
really relevant to the situation happy at all. And to be quite honest, I have a lot of respect for Jack Sargent for still releasing this map after that. Like, it would have been very easy just to pull the plug on the thing entirely. But he kept it and he's released it, and now we have it to drive. So, big respect. Big respect. And absolutely zero respect to whoever leaked it. Aha. Don't leak maps, people. Or buses, or anything. Just don't leak things. Be respectful of the creators. They put so much time and effort into this, like the time and effort that goes in, especially for a map, like it's levels above
What?
anything. Like, from what I've heard, OMSI is
Hello,
such a pain when it comes to map building. Like, anyone who takes on the idea of building a map and gets it to a finished state is quite frankly incredible for persisting with OMSI's editor for so long. So just have some respect and don't leak things, like common sense and all that, you know? And that's going to not be a crash, which is good. Thought it might have been there for a sec, but it wasn't, which is always handy. Oh, we can hold some high revs, not often we get to do that with the StreetLite. Welcome on board. So yeah, this, because of all of this, the map is out quite a bit earlier than it probably would have otherwise been. While obviously we can all be happy that we've got the map sooner than we expected, it has potentially left a few things which are a little bit rough around the edges. Not that I'm saying they're things that would make me not recommend it. Like, I'll always be recommending this map, but you might be able to see on the playback that the FPS is perhaps a bit on the choppy side. Unfortunately, particularly around the bus station, that does appear to be the case. It does appear to struggle a bit more than you might perhaps expect. I'm gonna hit this curb. Oh, I am. Thought I just missed it. Yeah, unfortunately, the optimization is perhaps not quite where it would have been if this had gone to the full extent with more betas and things. It's unfortunate because I wanted to run the high-end AI list, but unfortunately it just isn't up to that at the moment. I mean, maybe my settings are off as well, let's be honest, but I tried to do it and it broke my OMSI a little bit and I had to re-verify my files, so not ideal. And again, it is sort of mainly just around sort of the town centre, little bits here and there elsewhere. There's a lot of parts where the performance is absolutely fine, but there is just a few spots where it really could have done with a bit more optimization just to make it a bit easier to run. Like, don't try and spawn any buses in the bus station itself, for example. I would always recommend going to the Stagecoach depot. That's out of the way of some of the worst spots, I think. So the only other thing that sort of kind of bears mentioning is there's a few little silly spelling errors dotted around, particularly Castleton. A lot of the time in the red text and actually on signs in game as well. Oh, that's just been an absolute catastrophe. A lot of the time Castleton's missing the first T. It was like Castleton instead of Castleton, if you know what I mean. You probably have no idea what I mean by that, but we'll see it when we do the 16A. And that's the sort of thing that probably should have definitely been noticed, because that's not like something that can change between. That's not a performance related thing, that's a visual thing. It's just a little bit silly. But like I say, aside from that, you know, that minor thing, and then the optimization, which I hope does get improved in a future update, if there are sort of patches and things that might happen. Aside from those things, like I say, absolutely get this map, drive its routes. It's very, very cool. There's a lot of very cool things to see. You can see how many little references to OMSI creators you spot as well. Both YouTubers, repainters, map builders, whatever. Like, it's a very, very cool map to drive around, and I'm going to drive all the routes and I know I'm going to enjoy them. A couple of minor things that just need slightly improved just to make it that little tiny bit better, that's all. Skip the layover time because why not, there's no one else coming. So let's leave the Sainsbury's and go elsewhere. See anyone coming, or can we make it without taking anybody out? I think we can make it without taking anybody out. Round and round and round we go. When it stops, nobody knows. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this 60 is going to want to turn in here, which is going to be slightly awkward. I want to turn out, and let's see what happens here then, shall we? particularly want to go in front of them. I think that would be a bit stupid. But at the same time, I don't think they're going to get across anytime soon because the stuff keeps showing up here. Right, go, go, go. Ah. Oh well, did a wide enough swing, fair play. Fair play, OMSI buses don't always take the widest swing, but the paths have been set up well there. So that's not an issue. How many times have you seen me go up to a junction in another map and it's just got a car turning across me? It just decides to cut the corner for no particular reason. I think we're going left here if I'm not mistaken. I think that's just a couple of the school routes that run down there. So let's make said left. Get some more revs up. I think I've given you most of what you need to know about the map. Like I say, definitely get it. For a freeware map that had a lot of challenges happening in the sort of final few months before it's come out, this is definitely worth your no money at all because it's freeware. And honestly, even sort of this version with a bit of optimization could easily probably be just about pairware quality, and especially if it was fully finished, then it would definitely be a pairware quality map, I believe. The fact we're getting this for free is, quite frankly, rather awesome. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Over the bumps, and we're actually early at this stop. That's incredible. I still can't words. Yeah, that's fine. Out we go. And then can I do this without hitting curbs? Oh, I actually just about kind of did. I cannot see if there's anything coming because of that park transit. I'm going to assume there's not and hope that we don't get crashed into, and we didn't. Could have done if we waited any longer though. Gotta hold the brakes down here so we don't go incredibly fast.
Hello, lad. Hello.
Welcome on board. No, made the bus complain. Too efficient for the bus's liking. That Range Rover suddenly got very bright, didn't it? What's this here? Is that a 39? I don't believe that's a drivable route. I think that's an AI only route. Welcome on board. We're actually a little bit early here. We can run the time forward a little bit. I'll not run it all the way like I usually do because I need to keep an eye on things. I've actually just respawned that 39. There you go, you get to pick up passengers again. One other little minor issue, just at this junction, the traffic light on the left doesn't work. Just stays red all the time. But that one I can say is a very easy one to miss because there's like hundreds of junctions on a map this size, so like that's fine. That can be fixed pretty easily, I'd imagine. Relatively so anyway, compared to some things. So we'll look at the light on this side. I think that car on the right... No, it does. We get to go first. I was not correct. And we don't stop round at this stop on Long Eaton Road. That's just for 20 and that. The 4A stops there the other side, but I guess it won't then stop at the gateway stop maybe? I didn't really look at the red text there to check that. Didn't look at the thing that's very useful and tells me information. There's a beryllium. A little one on the rail replacement. I would have put a decker on that personally, but that's just me. That is just me. Some people disembarking. Quite a lot of you getting off actually, okay. All off to the King's Arms, are we? Okay, well, you can wait. Have some patience. Allow me to get to the next stop, please. Thank you very much. This is 7. Nope, it's a 20. Newington Road. Got a rather uninviting looking Pizza Hut over there. There's a 2. I don't know if the 2 was meant, it was going to be a drivable route or not, but it isn't. Don't know if it was planned to be though. There's a 2 and there's also a 2B, so maybe they might have been intended to be drivable, but then with everything that's happened they just kind of weren't. I don't know. But we're almost now at the end of the route. Just got to drop off here. We'll just go a bit further forward so that we're in the bus stop rather than sort of awkwardly hanging out of it. Right, everybody, or almost everybody off. I'll put the blind back to not in service now because the next stop is the bus station. We don't need people staying on or trying to get on when I'm finished. Round to the right and back to where we started. Got a couple of deckers in. Got a 60. And I think we've got a 7 as well. I think the 60 is drivable. I might be wrong. The 7 isn't. Let's just pop in here. And like I say, it does say stand 5 above the stand, but it's definitely stand 6. This time we're going to make a slightly better job of parking up. We're not going to hit anything. There we go. So there we are, we've made it back and the blind is set to not in service and I didn't crash into the fence, so I call that a successful venture. With that being said, thank you so much for watching the first episode of the Adstow Adventures. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and there's going to be some more to come in the future. You know what to do if you've enjoyed, because everyone says it all the time on YouTube. But all that said, thank you so much for watching. The next route's going to be the 6A, and it's going to be a round trip on it. Ooh, how exciting, round trips, I don't usually do those. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll see you for the next video, whatever that may be, and hopefully also next Sunday for the next episode of the Adstow Adventures. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.